Well, thank you for joining us this sunny Saturday. I'm Horbacewicz here with meteorologist Corrales Ortiz because everyone is talking about how hot it is.
It's also a sweltering Saturday as well. Arkansas is in full swing.
I like
it.
I mean, I don't like to feel it, but I like the word.
Well, hopefully you like soup because that's exactly how it feels like outside. Yeah. And on top of that, it's hot temperature-wise. We're sitting almost near in the mid-90s here in the metro. Many locations across southern Arkansas, even dipping into the upper 90s with heat index values in the triple digits for many locations. Where it feels like it's 105 here. It feels like it's 110 in Camden, 109 Arkadelphia, 108 in Texarkana. We're still seeing these heat advisories stick around until 8 o'clock this evening once things begin to cool down for the evening. Otherwise, a quiet evening in store will be coming clear for us. Very warm temperatures are likely going to stay around the low 80s to upper 70s, but look at that. This Sunday, tomorrow, is going to be even hotter than it was today, closer towards the upper 90s. And of course, factor in the humidity, we'll likely be seeing more heat advisories in place. That's not the only thing we're seeing Sunday. We have the chance for some storms as well. I'll have a look at that timeline in your forecast coming up.
If you drove down 630 today, you may have noticed a big smoke cloud just after noon. There was a fire at a vacant house on 11th Street, a little south of UAMS. Officials say the fire started in the back of the house, and luckily no one was hurt. Over in Bryant, a fire last night at Midstate Golf Carts. The fire department says that multiple carts were lost as well as several storage containers. The shop building, however, was not damaged. And again, no one was hurt there. We are still waiting to hear from that fire department about how it all started. Tonight, relief efforts continue nearly 3 months after an EF3 tornado tore through parts of Arkansas. THV 11's Frederick Price shows us how one group is pushing recovery efforts forward.
Marquisa Wentz founded the Arkansas Appleseed Legal Justice Center with hopes of addressing issues impacting all of society through legal strategies.
Community organizing, research, impact litigation, or legislative advocacy.
But after the March 31st tornado ripped through parts of Jacksonville, she wanted to find a way to help those impacted.
Today, we're offering estate planning, criminal record sealing, financial resources.
She's expecting about 50 families to show up to the Jacksonville Community Center Saturday. The local NAACP chapter, attorneys, and a bank, all here to fill the gaps so many people may not have had access to.
I spoke personally with residents that said, we're overlooked. Traditionally, there's been just a gap in services, and folks have been waiting for the opportunity to show up.
She's also keeping in mind that not everyone in this community, she says, needs help with insurance or rebuilding, for example.
If someone's been overlooked, then more likely than not, even if they're not affected by the tornado, they probably have other legal issues that they could be of service. And so we lined up pro bono attorneys to take rollover cases.
It's part of the organization's goal to create a space for Arkansans to self-advocate and send a reminder that even weeks after devastation, they are not forgotten.
If you don't need a lawyer, if you weren't affected by the tornado, that does not exclude you from coming today. We want folks to stop in, and we will find a way to support you, even if it's just to come and share a story.
In Jacksonville, Frederick Price, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Frederick, and we'll post information on THV11.com to share how you can donate and help volunteer. And as a reminder, if you're still cleaning up debris from that tornado in Little Rock, the deadline to get it all to the curb for pickup is tomorrow. So you want to make sure any items are within 10 feet of the curb. Yard waste and construction debris must be divided into separate piles. The city contractor will make their final sweep of the area tomorrow. Today, the Phi Beta Sigma fraternity hosted a gun buyback program here in Little Rock. It was from 10 to 2 at the St. Mark Baptist Church, and any working gun was accepted.
Anybody can come in and bring a gun and drop it off, and you give us the gun, we'll give you a gift card. And the purpose of doing that is we want to get the guns off the streets.
The event's goal is just that, to get rid of the guns before they have any chance of being used for violence. This is the fraternity's 4th community event, and they say they collected 23 guns this year. Once the guns are all collected, the fraternity gives them over to police.
We'll turn those guns over to the Little Rock Police Department, and the guns will be destroyed. If it's a stolen item, I think they'll return it to the person that reported it being stolen. But other than that, it will be destroyed.
And at the Little Rock Police Substation over on 12th Street, a couple new businesses are moving in. Today, a block party was held to celebrate those new businesses, and we'll have more on what's coming and hear from Little Rock City leaders about those developments tonight at 10. Also developing tonight, just hours after Russian President Vladimir Putin vowed to defend his country against uprising, there's word of a potential de-escalation. The paramilitary group Wagner has decided to pull back after the leaders of Belarus announced he brokered a deal between both sides. Christian Benavides explains.
Tensions between the Wagner paramilitary group and Russia's military may be easing after Yevgeny Prigozhin, Wagner's leader, announced his troops who were previously heading to Moscow would instead turn around. A dramatic escalation earlier led to speculation of a potential civil war. During an emergency televised address on Saturday, Russian President Vladimir Putin vowed to defend his country against an armed rebellion. We will protect our people and our statehood from any threats, including treason from the inside. What we are facing now is treason. But hours later, Wagner announced it was pulling back. Prigozhin telling his troops in an audio message that they turned around before blood could be shed. Late Friday, Wagner had taken over Russia's military headquarters in Rostov-on-Don, south of Moscow, vowing to oust the defense minister. The mercenary group, which fights on the side of Russia in Ukraine, has grown increasingly agitated with Russia's military leadership. Vast territories have been lost, and there are 3-4 times more soldiers killed compared to what is being reported. We have daily losses of up to 1,000 people, Prigozhin had said in a video message when they initially started their armed rebellion. As Russia's internal conflict plays out, the war in Ukraine continues. A Russian missile hit a 24-story tower in Kyiv, and Ukrainian officials say they've intercepted more than 20 missiles. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
Late Saturday in Russia, it appeared the mercenary group and its troops were retreating back to Ukraine.